I didn't plan to announce my pregnancy at Christmas. It just felt efficient. Everyone would already be in one room. No separate calls. No rehearsed explanations. I told myself it would be easier that way, like pulling off a bandage in front of witnesses. My mother loves an audience. The living room smelled like cinnamon candles and roasted meat. My aunt was already tipsy. My cousins were arguing over a board game that no one ever finishes. I stood near the tree for a second too long, holding a glass of sparkling water I wasn't drinking. I wasn't scared of becoming a mother. I was scared of being her daughter while becoming one. When I finally said it, just a simple, "I'm pregnant," the room didn't erupt. There was no gasp, no applause. It was quieter than that. My mother looked at me the way she does when I park slightly crooked in her driveway. Then she laughed, not surprised, not delighted, just amused. "You're banned from Christmas, idiot." A few people chuckled automatically, reflex laugh. I felt heat rise to my face, but I waited. Sometimes she says something sharp and then softens it. She didn't. Honestly. She continued, waving her wine glass. "Don't come crying when this blows up. If you're going to make stupid decisions, do it somewhere else. Consider me as if I never existed." That was the moment the room froze. It wasn't dramatic. No one dropped a plate. But every sound thinned out. My cousin stopped mid-sentence. My aunt looked down at her hands. My partner, Adam, stiffened beside me but didn't speak. They were waiting. They'd seen this before. The public correction. The ritual humiliation disguised as concern. There was a version of me, the old one, who would have rushed in to soothe it. "Mom, I didn't mean," or "You're right, maybe it's bad timing." I would have tried to win my way back into the room. Instead, I heard myself say, "Okay," not angry, not sarcastic, just flat. It confused her. "What do you mean, okay?" She snapped. "If that's how you feel," I said, "okay." I put my untouched glass on the coffee table. Adam took my coat without being asked. We didn't slam the door. We didn't storm out. We left like guests who had finished dinner. The air outside felt different, not colder, just real. The days after were quiet. No calls, no apology. Instead, my phone lit up with indirect messages. "Your mom is hurt. She's embarrassed. You blindsided her. Pregnancy out of marriage at Christmas. What did you expect?" I read them without responding. I had expected disappointment. I had not expected erasure. 3 days later, she posted a vague message online about children who mistake rebellion for adulthood. It gathered sympathetic comments from relatives who hadn't been in the room. I didn't react. What she didn't expect, what I hadn't fully considered until that week, was that we were financially entangled. 2 years earlier, when she wanted to renovate the old duplex she rents out, Adam and I had co-signed part of the loan. She'd insisted it was temporary. Family helps family. She'd said it wasn't about trust, it was about optics. At the time, I thought being useful would make me safer. Now, I sat in a small office across from a bank representative while she slid documents across the desk. The room smelled faintly of toner and burnt coffee. "If you'd like to formally withdraw from future liability," she said, "these are your options." Her tone was neutral, professional, no moral weight. Just process. Authority without emotion. I signed where she indicated. There was no revenge in it, just correction, separation. A week later, my mother received certified notice of restructuring. Her leverage, the quiet reminder that my name was tied to her property, dissolved into paperwork. The family group chat reawakened almost immediately. "What is this about? Why are you escalating things?" "Your mom says you're punishing her." I typed slowly. "I'm separating finances. That's all. No insults, no history lesson, no screenshots of what she'd said. Just that." The silence that followed felt different from the Christmas silence. This one didn't belong to her. She couldn't publicly attack without explaining why her pregnant daughter had to remove herself from shared debt. She couldn't paint me as unstable without admitting dependence. Power didn't flip loudly. It thinned out around her. She called once. I let it ring. She left a voicemail. Her voice was controlled, almost bored. "If this is how you want to play it, fine. But don't expect to waltz back in when you need help." I listened to it twice. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel the urge to prove I didn't need help. I just deleted it. Grief came in waves I didn't expect. Not for Christmas, not for the party, for the version of her I kept hoping pregnancy would unlock, the softer grandmother, the proud mother, the woman who might finally look at me without measuring. I had to let that version go. Adam and I spent Christmas morning assembling a crib in our apartment. The instructions were annoyingly vague. One of the screws didn't align. We argued lightly about which panel went where. Outside, I could see holiday lights blinking in the building across from ours. Other families, other living rooms. At one point, Adam paused and looked at me carefully. "Are you okay?" He asked. I thought about the word banned, about being told to consider her as if she never existed. "I'm sad," I said honestly, "but I'm not ashamed." That was new. My phone buzzed once more that afternoon. A message from my aunt. "I'm sorry for what happened. You didn't deserve that. It wasn't dramatic. It didn't repair anything. But it acknowledged reality." I placed my hand over my stomach, still barely rounded, still mostly secret to strangers, and felt something steadier than anger. Exile, I realized, is sometimes just exit with a harsher name. I didn't win anything. I didn't defeat her. I just stepped out of reach. And for the first time, the silence that followed belonged to me.